Hi everyone, welcome to the Bitcoin Sage Show. I'm your host Patrick. Let's get started. Today is December 12th, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So lots of exciting stuff happening with Bitcoin. Let's get started. First of all, I just wanted to share the website, bitcoinsage.com. Check it out. We've just added the podcast details and information. So we just got the podcast on Google Play Music. So you can sign up there with your Android device. And we also have it on Apple's iStore or iTunes. And you can, any kind of an iPhone device can sign up there for the podcast as well. And make sure you subscribe on YouTube so that you get a notification when we're posting our live stream and moving from there any videos as well. So let's get started today. Some big news. So there was a statement from the SEC finally, and way late after a summer of ICOs and people throwing as much money as they could at ICOs. They finally came out with their ICO, I guess what they're saying is considered a security and what is not. And basically an ICO is considered a security. So I'm going to put this link obviously in the podcast description and on the website. I recommend you read this if you're looking at launching an ICO. And basically it says don't invest in ICOs. You really need to be asking a lot of questions because majority of these ICOs are not legal, depending on the country you're in, or they add no value and aren't really a real product either. So be more than buyer beware at this point. Let's jump right into the chart here. So yesterday's video, we had talked about this pop up to the new highs. We did get that pop and it was great, but then it was rejected and it came all the way back down to 1630, 1640. Sorry. And since then has started to climb right back up. So it looks like we're going to make another attempt at those all-time highs. A bit of a sharp rejection here. But I think we're going to continue moving forward and we should be seeing a spike up into 19,698. I think we might see some sort of a power move over the next few hours. So watch out for that. Stay tuned. I think there's going to be some exciting stuff happening. And then hopefully we can get a pullback from there and another opportunity to get some good priced Bitcoin. Okay, let's jump to the news. So first one is Bitgo scores 43 million of crypto as crypto goes corporate. So they're a great company out there that's raised a good amount of money at this point, and they've done it the legal route, the traditional investment route. This is not an ICO, so this is they're blazing the path down the traditional route, and I think this is really positive for the industry and helps legitimize any kind of cryptocurrency, blockchain related startups as well. So that's great news. Article here from Forbes on how crypto and blockchain technology should be regulated. And I think probably the most important thing out of this whole article is the fact that blockchain cryptocurrencies aren't regulated as a technology, it says. It's more about their application and how they're applied. And when you apply them to a certain thing, then it becomes something specific that can be regulated. Litecoin has exploded to the upside, 82% up, and surpassing IOTA, which looks to be falling apart. I'm going to be covering the top charts for the top 10 coins by volume on this podcast and on the videos as well. So I probably will be covering Litecoin and IOTA going forward on the charting. So stay tuned for that on the next show. Next is how do 15 times leverage at Tokyo Bitcoin Exchange could spread contagion. So right now, our futures over here are not overly leveraged. I think it's something like maybe you have to put 30 or 40% down margin. So the leverage is 1 or 2 times at this point, very low. So Tokyo is going to introduce 15 times. BitMEX, as we talked about yesterday, you can go up to 100 times on that. So it'll be interesting to see what this volatility brings. But I think what you're going to start to see is this kind of whipsaw up and down of thousands of dollars is pretty much what that volatility is going to mean for us. So make sure you're ready and buckled up. Okay, Bitcoin investors hunt for transfers that aren't taxable. This seems to be a big conversation now that Bitcoin has created so much value. People are trying to figure out, what do I do with my Bitcoin? Where do I put those Bitcoins, and where do I cash those Bitcoins out? I think there's going to be a couple of countries in the next 12 months that are going to probably come out and make Bitcoin a legitimate country currency, or connect it to their currency in some way, and allow people to deposit their Bitcoin there tax-free and hold them there, and maybe even transfer it out into fiat if they want to, and pick it up in cash. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities, and I think the first ones here is going to be the wave of the offshore community and people who do need to make payments all around the world. So there's a lot of interesting stuff here as we continue to kind of discover what implications we have on taxes. I'll obviously talk about them. I'm very interested in that myself. North Korea may be making a fortune from Bitcoin mania. This has been like one of those rumors that's been around for the longest time, that North Korea has been involved in Bitcoin from the early days, mining it and making money from it. So this is funny stuff. This is an interesting article. Meet the Chicagoans that are jumping into the world of Bitcoin. Everybody in Chicago is usually an amazing trader from the bonds or the pits for derivatives and options trading. So it'll be interesting to see with this money pouring into Bitcoin at such a speed. This article was scary but expected. So people are now mortgaging their houses to buy Bitcoin. I mean, I heard about this a year ago. People were doing that, going all in. 2 years ago, some people were smart enough to say, hey, I'm all in on this. I think anybody doing it at this point is, doing the wrong thing. Absolutely don't do this. Absolutely do not take out any money and leverage to buy Bitcoin. Do not take out any loans for Bitcoin. Do not use credit cards to buy Bitcoin. You realistically should only be using money you can afford to throw away and lose at this point with Bitcoin. So please, please, please don't do this. Next, we're going to go into the Bitcoin energy consumption. This seems to be a hot topic for the news folks and the environmentalists, or I think it's really just the news seems to look for silly statistics that matter. And so this is an interesting index that kind of tracks the electrical usage of Bitcoin and some numbers and statistics that are useful and funny to look at. And then there was an article in the BBC saying, Bitcoin, does it really use more electricity than Ireland as a country? So it's an interesting discussion, but I think at the end of the day, if you look at how much energy is used to mine gold out of the ground and other metals and minerals, I think it's pretty much a discussion that's a waste of time and not worth happening. So anyways, tomorrow we'll cover up some more of the different charts, and we'll cover the top 10 by volume coin here. And make sure you sign up for the podcast on Google Play and on iTunes, or on the YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe for notifications. Have a great day, everybody, and let's make some money trading Bitcoin.